G'day traders, welcome to wrap up of Thursday the 26th of April. Quite a significant day today on the dailies. We've really got a bit of a possibility of a changing of the trends. So this is the day we're looking at here. So this is the Thursday candle. Sorry, this one here. This is the Thursday candle here. So now at the end of the day, because we did have a strong push up through the cash market, which we'll go through soon, it's sitting quite high. But before we started the day, it was still a green candle, but it was sitting up around 1390, and what had happened in the pre-market, it just poked its head up above this strong resistance area we keep talking about, being the 1380s area. So that was quite significant. You can imagine, like I keep saying, this is a 1 minute chart or a 5 minute chart, and if all of a sudden it pops up above a strong resistance like that, what does that mean? It means the buyers are coming in quite strong and they're going to really have a go. And this has basically been the last area that the sellers have been able to hold. At the end of the day, they never have really had a strong push down, but they did break through support, which now becomes resistance, and they've been holding, and all of a sudden that's broken, and that's going to be a release of pressure where the buyers all of a sudden kind of take a bit of a control of the situation. So tonight, Friday, will be interesting, but definitely a bit of a change happening here and quite a significant day. And another thing to note too is you'll see that's an all one direction day. And think about these days, they're fairly rare, which is good, because a lot of times it's tough to get many opportunities. Even though there's a bit of movement, it's all in one direction, and that's for day trading you really need multiple directional moves. But today was always a possibility, I thought, of being a one directional move, because when you get a changing of the trends, or where a market starts hitting a significant new area, quite often the market will just continue on in that direction, whether it's the buyers or sellers, and in this case it is buyers. So there was always a chance that we're going to get what happened today. So you can see here, especially in the afternoon, few and far opportunities between, but we'll go through it a bit closer. Here's the opening here of the cash market, pushed up higher. Again, it kind of bounced off that 1390 area. Pullback. So any sort of pullbacks was going to be definitely worth having a look at. Considering that these buyers were strong, and that there's a likelihood that we're going to head up and have a go, up around the 1400 area, which is what they eventually did. So did get a pullback here. The only thing is with these pullbacks, in hindsight, it looks like this 5 minute one here just worked, but at the time, you can see what's happened. It's pulled back, tried to go higher, and pulled back again, started breaking down through support. So that's not a real good holding formation at this stage. And also the Nasdaq was really strongly pushing on the downside. So it didn't mean that the sellers were going to take control. It just meant when this trade came up, it just would have put the stop loss under a bit of pressure, and it did head that way. In the end, it's worked, but you just really got to be careful. Even you can be in the right areas, but just still get stopped out. So just some pressure from the other markets, just saying that this trade might be under a bit of pressure, but overall not a too bad area. Just the markets were pushing down a little bit heavy at that stage. From there we pushed up again. You can see they've just broken up, and then had a second pullback, and then from there the markets have really pushed to the upside. The thing about this breakout trend, which eventually did come, so I suppose you could call it the 1:20 p.m. candle, was when it really broke out. There was a couple of opportunities, basically here, even here, and then just leading up to here where it could have broken. And breakout trades are a fantastic way to get some great points. But what happens is, with breakout trades, normally the smaller markets, the Russell, the Nasdaq, and things like that, give you a lot of evidence that there's a breakout coming, and quite often they lead the markets, meaning they're the ones that break first, and you can see it coming, and then it gives you an opportunity to get on the ES before it's done its dash, or before it's made its breakout. Okay, and I'd say that would happen 7, 8 out of 10 times, where other markets lead, and because we trade the ES, we can then get on. This particular case, I'm looking for breakouts, thinking, okay, buy is definitely an opportunity today, but no stage was I ever really confident, even this area here, of taking a breakout, and that's because it's just one of those rare occasions where the ES was the leading market, meaning that they're wanting to do it, and then the other markets eventually followed. If you have a look at the other markets, the Russell and things like that, which normally are the ones that go, they really took a while and kind of resisted these buyers. So for that reason, it's hard to be on the front foot and taking these buy opportunities. But the good thing is that that's a rare occurrence, and most times there's an opportunity that we won't miss this sort of thing. But anyway, that's trading. So second pullback here. From there the market This is where it's really had its go, obviously. This is all through the start of the afternoon period. And once it's getting up right up around here, it's very extended like this. Obviously, we had 2 pullbacks. This market's very much on the upside, so it becomes, like I said, because it's one directional day, it becomes very hard to get on the buy side. It's kind of like you've almost missed the opportunity. If you want to go on the buy, it needs to happen a lot earlier. So approaching mid-afternoon, it was starting to become evident that there was going to be few and far opportunities on this particular day, even though we've had all this movement in one direction. And then just to finish off the day, sometimes we get some sellers like we have here, and that's just, I guess, profit taking. So buyers that have held and have got in and now exiting their position after getting their profit. So just to show you on the 1 minute chart, so here pushed up, bounced off that 1390 from here, pull back. So this power point here, this is the first basically pullback. So when we looked at the 5 minute trade, it basically took 2 pullbacks to get it, whereas the power point, this was the first one. So this was probably an easier or better opportunity than the 5 minute trade. It looked a little bit more secure on the upside at this stage, and it would have went the distance, that power point there. So that's a good one there, considering where we were on the dailies as well. From there, we did have a little bit of sideways, and then it started to get this formation where it looked like some of the other markers were just going to push down a little bit lower before going up. Now this is getting through all lunchtime, very sideways, and then here's where the breakout eventually came. So it's these sort of power fade. This one, maybe this one, but definitely you want to be on it by about this one here. And like I said, these power fades can quite often, you can see these coming, and some great opportunities, especially if the other markets lead the way. But in this particular case, the ES led it, so it was a little bit difficult to see this power fade coming. But then you can see basically ever since 10 o'clock this morning, there was no bottom power points here. It was just all upper movement. It just kept hitting upper and upper power point, and there's no sort of pullback or anything. It makes it very difficult to get on. You can see eventually hit a yellow as well, and it's pushed through the yellow. And then we've just got this little bit of a sideways movement to finish off the day as we had a bit of profit taking. But mate, that's a wrap up for Thursday. Approaching Friday's trading with these new buyers in town, so to speak. It'd be interesting to see what kind of day we have. So I'll speak to you guys then.